I want to thank all of you for your support of the Shaw Strength podcast. You might notice that we do not run ads during the show, and that is something that I have tried to do. And in order to fund the podcast, we have had to pull money away from my other businesses, which are Shaw Strength, Evolution Athletics, and Undefined Nutrition. So I wanted to let you know we are running a Black Friday sale starting right now on shawstrength.com. Everything is buy one, get one 50% off. You can mix and match anything from Evolution Athletics, Undefined Nutrition, or Shaw Strength. And your support is very much appreciated with that. If you spend $40, you will get a free hand-signed picture from me. It's a lot of work to get these pictures done, but people really enjoy getting them, and so I enjoy doing them as well. If you don't want to support through the Black Friday sale, if you can just share the show, tell people about it. The growth we have experienced is very much appreciated, and that has been 100% organic up to this point, which is amazing. And we hope to bring you even more amazing content, very much like this upcoming episode, which is hilarious, and I hope that you all very much enjoy it.
And I literally spat my food out. When he said, I spat my food out over the mother and the father. It was so bad.
I waited till I saw him take a big old bite, and then oh my God.
So bad.
Welcome to the Shaw Strength Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Shaw, and today I am joined by the cast of The Strongest Man in History, Mr. Nick Best, Mr. Robert Oberst, Mr. Eddie Hall. We're in the podcast room. We're going to have some fun. A lot of us have been asked questions about The Strongest Man in History, what it was like, you know, behind the scenes, how did the shows go down, you know, what a lot of people don't understand what it's like filming a show and going through the process. So, you know, jumping into this, guys, I know I got approached with the concept for the show, and I liked it. Which is...
Can you cough when
It's
you
gonna be
cough?
the whole episode.
Can you cough away from the
I'm gonna hear
microphone?
Nick breathing and coughing.
There we go. That's better.
Just try to not.
So this is what it was like on the show, folks.
Basically, this is, when we got approached, it was this.
Shut up.
Wheezy over here.
Dragon nostrils.
Were you trying to talk to me?
Were you trying to communicate?
No, he had a 12-minute intro. He was halfway through.
Amazing.
So this is why it took so long to film the show.
Yeah. This is why we had such long days of filming.
We never did anything. And why so much stuff got cut out, because there were so many funny things that just never made it.
Mainly because of
How
Nick's
did, honestly,
nostrils.
though, all right, calm
You
down.
always hear Nick in the background.
Sound man every time. Let's do that again. Nick fucked it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I honestly, I want to know this, because I never asked you. How did you guys feel when you got approached for the show? Right? Did you think it was just another? I mean, I actually didn't put a lot of weight into it, if I'm being honest.
At the beginning?
When they initially hit me up for the show,
For the pilot, Nova Scotia.
I was kind of like, well, what is this? Because none of us knew who else was involved. So I thought it was just another email that came through that was like, hey, you want to do this? Right? It's just.
Well, what about, like, how did everybody feel when we knew we were going to Nova Scotia to do the pilot? You know what I mean? Like, when they knew it was us doing a pilot.
I think it got more real at that point. I mean, in all fairness, because at that point we knew who was involved. At the initial interview part, I didn't know who was involved. I don't know if you guys did or not. But
I got to ask a question. I think I was the first phone call, to be honest with you guys. So,
how would you know
you worked
that,
with us too? It was the same guy that was going to do Texas Strongman. And he called with the concept. I was like, that's cool. And he started going through all these names. I was like, yeah, Brian, Eddie, Rob. You already know how Robbie and I work together.
Nick formulated the team.
Nick actually put us
Nick put us together
with his friend. Yeah, I was
So-
like, Brian's the real deal, dude.
Brian
It gets
was
no more
chosen
real
by
in here.
Nick.
Eddie is a character, and he's also the real deal. And then Robbie's a character, and there's nothing he
Oh,
won't
that was
try.
harsh.
That was-
It's just a character.
good. Just
Nothing
a-
else.
No, I go-
You're not the real deal.
He is the real deal.
I
He's made the
I was
finals
already going to say something
just
else.
as many times as I have, so he's absolutely the real deal. But it was
I'm good with as real as my deal is.
we already did another pilot for another show once, and
I know what you're saying.
We did great, and we worked great together. And I played the straight guy, and he was the wild man. So as always.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
I did.
I know.
You were the straight guy. And we took it.
You did kind of.
Well, Eddie's ass did get eaten alive by mosquitoes.
No, that was me.
Yeah, that was
in Texas, remember?
I did say Obi got his ass
said
eaten.
Eddie.
Oh,
Eddie.
sorry. Eddie.
Yeah.
Obi.
When you showed up, Ed, like for day one and everything, you came in, did you feel, I don't know, I remember you were kind of the one that was like the most, I can't say F off a bit of ish, like the most like whatever blasé about it.
Yeah, because I think like you two, like you do so many pilots, like so many. How many times have you had an email saying we're going to do this TV show, like it's going to be this budget, that budget, this is going to be involved, and then it never comes to fruition?
Well, these guys
How
did
many
different
times?
pilots. I did pilots on my own for different shows, concepts, and a lot of it. What people don't understand is you get very far with it. You have a lot of time, effort, energy invested, and nothing comes of it. And once you have that happen the first time, the second time you might kind of buy into it a touch. And then by the third one or so, it's kind of like, you know what?
Yeah.
I've already been down this road. I've done this song and dance.
You're
I
making
don't
sure
really
you get a
think it's
better
going to happen.
fee for the pilot
Yeah.
than worried about if it gets picked up.
And I thought, I loved, for me, I bought into it because I loved the concept of strength history and having fun showing strength history to the world, right? So that's what I bought into. I didn't know who was involved, and I didn't care about, who was calling or whatever. It's kind of like, all right, I need to like the concept of the show and be on board with that, and then I'll be interested.
Yeah.
So that's how I approached it. And then once I found out you guys were involved, it's like, all right, cool, this is going to be fun, right? So then I wasn't sure. I was very skeptical. The whole time skeptical. So even going into the pilot, I was skeptical.
Yeah, I think we all were. I think
Yeah.
we're all skeptical, and then we did the pilot and we smashed it.
Yeah.
We smashed
and
it, and
we never used the pilot.
No, but we if you remember, we all got sent the pilot shoot that was sent to obviously the head of History Channel that gave the thumbs up. And I remember watching that and sending it to a few select people in the strongman world, and all the feedback was like, "Wow, this is going to be big."
Yeah.
And that's when I got excited.
But even then, we didn't hear anything.
Yeah, no, that's
Right,
true.
like all of us left there excited, and so we went to Nova
what, like
Scotia,
October?
Angus McCaskill, which was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time recreating that. Just razzing each other, some of the eating, just being real, right? Like it was literally a real pilot of a real show that was funny. Watching the pilot was great. No, and like you said, Oberst, nobody got to see that.
Right.
Which is kind of sad.
Probably one of
in
the
a lot
best episodes.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
The only thing you
I
see
did
is
the whole
us pulling
thing.
the anchor in the opening from our, because they used one little piece of it
anchor, yeah.
in the opening of our show.
Yeah, we pulled that giant anchor. I did the whole thing with a torn bicep. I literally
That's
tore
right.
my bicep
That's
2
right.
days before the filming of it.
Doing an accident showed up.
And then what nobody ever got to see was we were flipping over boats on the shore like Angus McCaskill used
that's
to do.
right.
And Ed's over there, like there was a rope tied to the boat. And,
Bro, that was
we were
horrible.
flipping over the boat, and Ed's standing on the rope.
He wouldn't let it flip over.
It hurt. My arm was killing me, and I was like, I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to do this. And then I look over, and I see that smirk on his face, and I lost it. Like, that was the first time that I was down to fight. Like, I was like, this is at least I don't know where we're going to go, but this is going to, like, I'm okay fighting for this point right here.
It was great TV.
It was so good. And then 10 minutes later, I was like, fudge.
That wasn't the word.
Say what you want to say.
Well, 10 minutes later, I came over to Ed and was like, fuck, that was so good, man. That was great. And like shook his hand. And we were all
Bro,
cool.
you guys were hot, man. Bro,
So
you were
that was the
hot,
hottest I'd ever let myself
honestly,
get, ever.
I saw it going down, and I knew what was happening, and what are you going to do? Eddie's doing it.
It was going to happen.
I was just the wind-up merchant, and it worked so well.
It did.
It just worked so well.
I was at a low point, and you just tried to kick me.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
just
you were on the
perfect for
floor.
yourself. Yeah.
Crying, trying to pick your teeth up, and I was flicking them away.
Yeah. Taking videos and pictures, like selfies and stuff. Yeah.
But that reaction, just that clip, bro, I can only imagine, because that was a real reaction.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was real, like what
People fake that all the time.
And it
That's
was
faked
not.
all the time.
And that's what was so cool about what we did, I think, especially during the pilot and the show, was everything was real. It was not scripted, right? So we played it out, and everything got to be played out in real time.
Right.
Where
We had real live arguments. I mean, over real
Yes,
shit the whole time.
yeah.
We always argued. I mean, look at Nick's face. Can you see?
Yeah. We'll get into that. We'll
I
get
don't
into
wanna
that a
talk
little
about
bit
that.
Let's
more.
talk about it. Come on, talk about it.
That was probably.
But we left. I think the point of it is we left the pilot like even more excited. Or I was even more excited because I thought it was real. And then months went by. We didn't hear a word. Right.
Yeah.
And then everything happened very quickly when it did actually happen.
Yeah.
If you remember, it was kind of contacted. Okay, let's get this done. Let's get dates booked. Let's make it happen. And going into that.
If you remember, they wanted to film 80 days straight.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
they asked for a ton. That's
They wanted to do 3 months straight filming, and obviously we all had obligations, and it got split up. But wow, that was a hard year.
They fought. We had to fight for that. Actually,
Yeah, that was
You're
a
right.
hard year.
The schedule.
Yeah.
The schedule.
Because you had to train. People forget this. Like you had to train for World's Strongest Man. Was it 2018?
I was
Arnold.
yeah. I
Both of
was
them.
yeah because we started in early 2019.
Yeah,
2019,
January.
Right,
January
and,
3rd.
and so that was only a couple months. So I was fighting for the fact that I had contests coming up.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be traveling leading right up to that, and then I wanted time. So I was fighting for that. You had all of us had different stuff going on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like meshing our 4 schedules plus making TV happy because they could only keep the production for a certain point in time. So then it was kind of like the budget had to go up because they had to leave and go to a different show. So they had to be done at least for that season.
Yeah.
So all of that meshed together. So we get on the road, right? Make it happen. And I didn't know what to expect, I guess, going into it. I've done commercials and I've done that kind of stuff where it's, maybe a day, maybe a couple days, whatever. But this was a lot for one show. And I don't think people realized it was that much for one show.
I was scared to death. I walked away from a $100K a year job.
Yeah, you did. That's right. You quit.
Yeah,
you,
jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, and the crazy thing is technically if the sales manager were to move to the other division on the other side of the company, which he was supposed to when that guy retired, I was going to be the next sales manager. So, I mean, I was just like, but you guys were worth it. This opportunity is worth it. And I would kick myself.
Nick really did
the day
put
I
the
died.
whole thing together.
I forgot that.
And I just
You did. You had to quit.
That is
I went
crazy.
in all in from the word go.
So being scared is normal, man. I mean, you walk, and that was a great job. How many years did you work there?
There 4, and in the beer business, 18 total.
18 total.
Yeah.
So you're invested 18 years, and you're like, you know what? This opportunity is great.
Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime thing. So,
And I think I thought the same thing, man. I mean, I knew the sacrifice that I was going to have to make from my typical preparation for contests. I was gonna compromise myself. I knew that.
Yeah.
Right. I knew that 100%, and I did. You did. But it was one of those things where I saw the vision. I was excited about it, and I think that I wouldn't go back and change it.
No.
I don't know if you would go back and change
never,
that.
not any part of it would change.
So you jump. Sometimes you just got to grab onto stuff and jump in head first, man. And I think that's what it was. And I had big talks about that. I remember at that point in time because it was like, look, I'm really competitive right now with things, and if I do this, I'm gonna walk in compromised to competition. And I kind of accepted that, and I said, hey, it's gonna be a tough road here, but we got to walk down it. And I think all of us made sacrifices, I think, to jump into that boat together. And we had to make it work, we really did. And it was an interesting dynamic, I think, with the days. So for people that don't understand, we were 6 days, right, for each episode?
No, 8.
Well,
8
2
total.
2 days of travel, right?
I think it was 8 and then plus travel.
It was
So
9.
it was
total.
9.
It was 9 total.
9 for each one. So they added in some travel. Anyway,
6
each
days of filming, 1 day of the interviews, and then 1
That's
day of
right.
traveling.
So one, yeah, okay. So they counted 9 total.
Yes,
Then for an
9
episode.
days an episode.
Perfect. So each one of those was slated out, especially the days we were filming, 13 hours a day.
Yep.
Yes, oh yeah.
So 13 hours a day rolling through, right? And they a lot of days push that
Oh yeah.
hard, right? I mean,
Yeah,
and
sometimes 6 in the morning till midnight.
yes.
Quite most days.
Yeah. And so around that, the crazy part that people don't understand is you're doing the show, and yes, we had to do lifting with the show, but actually getting training in around the show was crazy, bro. Like you remember this, getting up. So you'd either have to get up early, eat, go to the gym, get back, shower, get ready for set, or do it the other way. Go film 13 hours, then try to eat or whatever.
And we did all of that.
Crazy.
And then in the middle of traveling,
Yeah.
all over the place, bouncing from city to city.
Yeah. Well, how about the eating? This is the one I remember. I remember Eddie, right? Paul Anderson episode in the basement of the house, right? And he's like, I need to eat.
Shaking.
I need to eat. And they were like, no, we need to
right. In
finish.
the inside of the house.
You remember
when
that?
got shaky.
Blood sugar.
I do remember that.
And then they didn't understand when a big man needs to eat,
Right.
and your blood sugar's dropping like that, and we're pushing too far. If you go too far, once you're already feeling that, you need to eat now.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And so I think I know for me what I did. You guys remember this. I cooked all my food. I packed it all in my bag.
Yeah.
And if it was time to eat, bro, I pulled out my thermos, right? I had a thermos and a spoon, and I sat down and started eating.
Mince and rice and
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, it's time to eat, right? Like, because they ran on their time, so it was kind of, you're expected to lift these crazy things and do this crazy stuff, but then the eating for doing those things, the production crew didn't understand that.
No.
They're like, oh, why can't you just take a lunch and then we're just going to film? But all of those meals needed to happen, so
we had to eat every 2 or 3 hours.
for sure.
They had no clue on what it takes to do that. They didn't
To
understand
be that
part.
strong, to be that size.
They didn't understand that part of the
But
sport.
luckily, that was one of the early episodes where I think that happened. I think they realized when you went through that, it was like, hey, wait a minute. This is like, we got to respect this, because we all got pretty upset.
Yeah. That got serious. That got real serious.
Yeah.
When
like,
your
like,
lips
fell
when your
over,
lips start to turn
Yeah,
blue,
you look pale and,
and
you look,
like I need to eat, and they're just ignoring you, and I'm like, I need to eat, and they ignore you, and then it's like, oh god, I think I'm going to die, and then they run and get some steak, It's-
Or something. Yeah.
yeah.
you had to do candy, I thought, man.
Yeah, I think I just had to scoff a load of candy that
You were
Paul
needing sugar.
Anderson's daughter had.
Yeah.
Or
In
something.
the house,
Yeah, the mom or the dog. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Rolling through it. I mean, let's see. What was your favorite? If you had to pick one, what was your favorite episode?
To watch or to film, like our best memory of like.
I would. Well, we can go through it all, man. I mean, like that. Like, what was your favorite one? Being there with Paul Anderson. I mean, that I feel like for me had a lot of good
That was
memories.
pretty special.
I feel like we traveled some amazing places.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. We met
outside,
some amazing people.
doing the pub was great.
I actually think it's a 50-50 for me between Scotland and Cody, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the
so
scenery,
good,
the authenticity of the people, the atmosphere. Just
The
that for me was amazing.
the people in Cody were very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember how many people turned out for that piano race?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
the whole town.
crazy.
The
Yeah.
whole
Ridiculous.
town
It
came
was
to watch.
insane.
That was episode right after the Arnold. So I got hurt at the Arnold. You remember this? And I couldn't even tie my shoes.
Yeah.
And they were like, Brian, can't you flip over this bale of hay? Like the big round bales. Come on, bro. You got to jump in there. I'm like,
Well, it's
I
only
can't-
1,000 pounds.
it's just my hamstrings purple, but
You could see the bruising down your
still
leg.
I was actually legitimately disappointed I couldn't do that piano race, because that was like kind of like a piano yoke.
It was hard.
And you guys got
It
to
was
race.
crazy how
It did.
strapped the way we were
Yeah.
strapped was not good.
Yeah,
No,
that thing around my chest. I
It
just
still
couldn't even
looked.
take a breath.
It looked crazy. Honestly, like you guys wouldn't see. I had a different perspective from the front row because I was not doing it. But it was crazy, bro. Like everybody's going nuts, and you're like doing like it was a long race.
Yeah,
it was a long
It was
race.
so long, bro.
Nick
They were
nearly
like,
died.
Let's do a quarter mile. We're up at like
You did,
super
actually.
high
It was
elevation.
The only thing I won, and Nick had a heart attack and took the attention from it.
You did.
He did. The only thing Nick did bad at, he nearly died and was like, still the attention is on him.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, everybody, help me.
Yeah.
Don't look at Edzo celebrating.
So I
with the
finished.
corner.
I finished the race, and the Nick's goes,
I'm so sorry, Eddie.
Obviously, you hurt his feelings.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Eddie.
Thanks,
If I hurt your feelings on that, I'm sorry.
You
but-
did smoke that race.
Again,
That was absurd how well you ran that race.
Yeah.
Yeah, you killed it.
You did really good. That was a good one.
"Thank you."
You're very speedy.
You sucked at the sack race in Cody though.
I can't even remember that one.
It's the one where I dominated all.
Was that inside the pub?
In the bar?
In the bar,
With all those people
with
in
the
there.
sandbag. That was actually good.
That was fun.
What was that, a 400-pound sandbag? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
That was actually really good.
Yeah, it was pretty awkward
I did those 400 pounds is what we did at your show. Yeah, in Vegas. So
over the bar. Yeah.
400-pound bag I was super used to.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, that
Again,
was
I
that
had
was
to
a
watch
cool
that
crowd.
one. It's cool you guys are bringing up all the ones where I was watching.
Well, the one you were in Scotland. Scotland was great.
Yeah.
When
Scotland
I
was
took
surreal,
your
man.
record in keg for height. Right? Remember
was that-
when I beat you, broke
that
the
one?
record for keg for height, and actually we're here. It's been 10 years, and you still owe me a plaque for that.
A plaque.
So I have been looking through your house for something I can steal, and I'm going
brought-
to take something
you
sooner
brought
or later.
you brought that up a lot, man.
Yeah, I know.
Just
It's
take
been
this.
a decade.
Just take one of these gold
Yeah,
trophies.
but
man.
he's got.
I think they deserve it.
Not those. He's got a couple like posters of him that are throwing, and it's like signed and framed, and it's nice, and it's actually a picture of you throwing the keg. So,
And you want that?
I think no. I think I just deserve that. Like I think you owe
Fine,
that.
you can
to
have
me.
a picture of me throwing a cake. That's fine.
No, he wants that one in the frame that you've
Yeah,
signed.
it's fine.
That one.
Yeah,
It's
that
fine.
one.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we can let that one go to sleep and go to bed. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I've
fine.
been waiting a decade.
So yep, yeah. The Denny Stones in Scotland.
You,
One of
you
the
killed
favorite-
those.
That was
You killed those.
honestly,
so
man.
cool.
When did we find? I don't know. We didn't find out very soon before that we were doing that,
No.
right?
No, we literally get to Scotland and then they tell us.
Yeah.
So you
So-
had 3 days notice.
I didn't. I
You
mean,
didn't
there's
get to
no
train for any
preparation.
of this stuff.
Yeah.
None of
And
it.
what did we have to do the day before? I remember we were pretty sore.
Oh, the Highland game stuff. So
Yeah,
the
that's
caber
right.
toss, we were ruined from the caber toss.
I don't want to talk about the caber toss.
Oh,
Yeah, that one.
That was a bad day.
brutal.
Did they put that on TV?
Oh,
when you
yes.
got hit.
that was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
That made it on the show. Yeah.
I'm sure it
That was wonderful.
That was a rough one, Nick. That was a rough day for you.
Took a right in the nuts. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
That was the best day of my life.
I'm sure it was.
It was a good day.
I'm sure it made you very happy, Eddie.
It's good.
Yeah, it was cool, man. I mean, but like things like that, actual history, like the Denny Stones, on the bridge was surreal. Because how many people actually get to go to the bridge and do it on the bridge, right? Because they do it in front of that.
Yeah.
It's a little cafe, right? Or
The little
Yeah.
house. It's like a cabin. or
but they
whatever.
literally have a book. They have a book of everybody that's lifted. I thought that was so awesome. Like they actually put your lift, how you lifted it.
Kept the history.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
And
nice.
what, we were the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th to pick
Yeah.
it up farmer's walk style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
But
that's
non
not that many people.
the interesting part of that too, and I think I might be wrong with you guys. None of us used a hook grip, right?
No.
No, we just picked it up. I say we didn't have any practice. You have to
yeah.
practice hook grip for a few weeks to
Absolutely.
get comfy with it.
Yeah, yeah.
to not lose your fingernail.
Like to do that, but it was neat, man. That and I don't think they put in the show. They actually let the guy that held the record try because out of respect.
Yes.
Because he found out we were going to be trying that on the bridge. He said, "Hey, I'm going to come because I'm the record holder." And so he got to go after all of us. So after I was done,
That was cool.
It was cool of them, man. But again, it just shows like the history of that lift and the respect that they have for it. So the way they approach it, I don't know if you remember, you probably do. Before we even lifted them, we were talking about how we were going to introduce those stones and talk about how they had been carried, what had been done with them. And the guys there were literally getting into an argument about the history of how the
people
stone,
that live there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
the
it was
local
serious.
people were very serious about the
Very.
legend
And,
of that.
I mean,
that stuff.
just the like them having that kind of confrontational talk about, well, how did Donald Denny do this?
Yeah,
How
they
was
were
it
yelling
executed?
and screaming
Bro,
at each other.
It was really,
Yeah, they
I
were
thought they
very
were gonna
passionate
fight,
about it. Very passionate about it.
and the way that, like, when you got up on the bridge was, I don't know, I felt like a special energy, like from the peak, because there was a whole crowd that showed up to watch this happen because they have that much love for it.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know, I just remember that moment, man. It was like, that was a moment I'll never forget because of that. But again, it was just go in and do it.
I didn't even know if I was going to be able to pick them up that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, none
I
of
was
us.
hurt pretty bad.
That was crazy, man.
I was still hurt from doing the stupid thing in England with you.
Oh, the yoke pick thing.
Yeah, that was quite possibly the dumbest thing I think I've ever done.
Serves you right.
Yeah, that was an interesting day, Nick,
Yeah.
for us.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, then why did you bring it up? I don't know. You can't bring it up. People listening to this
yeah,
are
yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
why did you bring
So
that up?
I'll
What did
say
you do?
I'll say that basically Nick pushed Brian to his absolute limit on the. It was like a yoke pickup, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And you did 2,200 pounds.
2,027 pounds.
2,027 pounds. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You did the next weight increment.
And you literally nearly broke your back trying to beat Brian, which was.
If you're going to tell that, you might as well tell the rest of it too.
No, it was admirable to watch, but yeah.
Well, you might as well tell the rest of the story too. We had all talked beforehand that we weren't going to do that.
I know. I know, but Nick wanted to push the boundaries.
Right.
No.
So that's on you.
There were two guys that were teasing the fuck out of me down
of
at the
course
bottom.
Yes,
it was me and Obi.
Yes. We teased you.
He did not.
I did not think you were going to listen to us.
I was calling it at 1,800 pounds. I was like, I'm
and
good.
we were like, oh,
like,
little
what, you
girl,
done, chicken?
Was it?
I'm like,
and then
fuck
he
you.
finally
That's not,
did it. I
So
didn't
this
think
is the part that I haven't heard. Yeah, I didn't.
yeah.
know
You
that.
didn't know they teased me down there.
he totally fell to peer pressure. But,
Yeah.
I mean, still, that's still your fault.
And I was like, fuck you, load it.
Yeah, exactly. But you did that. You punished Brian.
Yeah, then I thought you
for
were
us
gonna kill me.
torturing you.
But you were stupid enough to take on Brian in a yoke lift, so serves you right.
We told you how it was going to go.
Hey, if you're gonna be strong, you better. Or, I wasn't as smart. That was not the.
It was a
smartest thing I've
stupid
ever done.
day for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be dumb, you better be strong.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was. We got to do some interesting things.
But you didn't know they were teasing me like that?
No.
Like,
I
what,
was
you
too-
afraid?
I
They're
was-
like, buck, buck, buck,
bro,
buck.
you remember climbing that tower? It was like I got more tired maybe climbing the tower to get up there to lift the thing than actually lifting it. It was like you'd have to put your belt on and climb up a ladder and do all that.
It was a big thing.
It was that was honestly, it was a cool event though.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
And
the
everyone was
people-
watching.
The people stayed out there for how long did that go?
Hours.
Because to
Hours.
load it took a lot of
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Then you had to get ready for your lift, go up and do it, and then
They were all hammered. Everybody. I drank so much with those people that day. Like, they were so hammered.
yeah.
That was
They
a
were
fun day.
excited.
It was cool.
You were just there for the free beer.
I did.
Yeah.
I
You
picked
started
it up
drinking
twice.
right with the
He just sat down and he was on the implement drinking the beer.
Now the
That
interest,
was like the best thing to do for like that place, like that spot.
yeah,
You know?
it was, man. It
You
was,
and Nick fight over weights, and us talk crap while I drank.
yeah, you broke the what the record was.
Was that Thomas Anderson?
Right.
Was that Thomas Anderson?
Thomas Topham.
Thomas Topham.
Thomas
That's
Topham.
right.
And that was at the pub that he owned.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
In
Which
the
was
same spot.
He used
it
to
was
do
cool.
stuff
Yeah,
like
it was a
that.
cool
the
thing.
history.
He was a cool guy too. Like, I was stoked on his. Like, his episode was really cool to get to know him.
Yeah.
He was freaking cool.
Well, something you guys probably didn't know is one of my dear friends, his kid was there. This kid was named after me.
Really?
In the crowd.
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You
think I
told us
remember
this
that.
And
Did
so
you tell
guys-
us after? You told us after?
Probably.
Yeah.
And so when you guys are doing that in front of him, I wasn't going to back down.
Well, that's why we did it.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah.
Well, that makes
Your,
more
your
sense.
friend
Why-
over here thinks you're
No,
a
I
bitch.
didn't,
you know?
Obi knew that. I didn't.
I did not know.
I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know
it until afterwards.
See, the interesting part with all these stories, the main strength feats all made it into the show, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was always shown.
Yeah.
But the interesting part was, and I don't know how you guys felt about this, because I know how I felt when it actually came out on TV. We never saw it before it went on TV.
No.
Right? Like, we never got a cut and like, hey guys, what do you think of this? Or do you like this? They didn't care what we thought.
Yeah.
So
Do you know I've actually never watched any of the episodes.
have you not? Really?
No.
Wow.
I just
Just-
I lived it. I don't need to watch it back.
I was excited to watch it. You didn't watch the first episode when we were out there for the promo?
No,
with,
I didn't. I was away when I think I was away filming something when it.
No,
when
the
it aired.
very first episode. Because
I watched
we
the
were-
pilot and that was it.
No, we were promoting it out in L.A.
In LA with the opening.
Yeah. So we sat down. I think we all sat down and watched the first show together.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
In
remember
LA.
that. I don't remember that.
When they did the motorcycle.
Did
jump.
I got there late though? Did you not do that?
No, because
I
I
realized
pulled the fire truck.
and then we
Yeah.
watched an episode.
Yeah,
I can't remember that.
I'm pretty sure. Well, anyway, you don't remember. You don't remember a lot of things.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Old age hasn't been
but
kind.
when they came out, this is what I'll say. My point that I was getting to is when the episodes came out, I would get done, and whoever was with me, a lot of times Carrie would say, "Man, that was really good," and I was so frustrated because you're talking 13-hour days. We filmed, how many days? And I was like, well, they left it was good, but they left out this and they left out this and they left out this and they left. Why? Where was that? That was like the best part of the whole thing, right?
There was so many good scenes,
bro.
That we shot that never made the TV,
and they'll
obviously.
never see any light of the day. Like it's
I was
gone forever.
expecting to see like the shorts of like we made the piss snowballs.
Yeah,
no,
bro.
God.
Tell this
In
story.
Minnesota.
Hold on, wait. We got to tell this story.
Oh, we do?
So
What I will say is one thing that we need to, it needs to be clear, is Eddie is a guy when he's peeing, you do not want to mess with him.
No, you get the hell away.
Wait. We'll tell you. Just, okay. Okay. So he'll do a lot of things to you if he's peeing, right? So he's just like, and so it's kind of like a skunk, right? Like you just, he's right there, and it's like, what he's capable of, and he maybe looks kind of cuddly or whatever, but so Eddie's peeing in the snow.
and I would piss anywhere.
Yes.
Absolutely anywhere. Next to anyone.
And then it was snowy, right? And Nick, I see Nick going in. We saw him, right? And he's going in to mess with Eddie. I'm like, oh, this is not going to work out well.
No, it didn't. No.
So
well
go ahead.
So I think we were in Minnesota.
That's right.
Yeah,
It was
the
cold,
Viking
bro.
series, and I was pissing away, and Nick came up and I don't know, pulled my pants down or slapped me or
Now,
something.
didn't he push you into the snow?
He tried to
yeah,
push you.
did something.
He threw some snow at you.
So I made a snowball out of the piss snow.
Well, you threw him in the snow first.
You threw him on top of the piss first.
Okay, and then he sort of walked off, and then I made a snowball out of the piss snow, threw it at him, and it just exploded on the back of his head.
Yeah.
And they got it all on camera.
Yeah.
And they were fucking loving it. They were pissing themselves, but that never made the.
That was hilarious.
No way.
Yeah. And then the other one was I think that was Cody, Wyoming as well. We did the axe throwing.
Yep.
And the loser.
Do we remember this?
The loser had to kiss.
Not the loser. The winner got to pick one of the other three, and you picked me intentionally.
Yeah. So the winner got to pick somebody to kiss the llama that was
Alpaca.
that was roaming around on the farm, and we spent hours
Chasing that thing.
chasing down that alpaca.
Terrified
There
of
was
it.
there was rows of hay, right? And we ended up with two of us on one side
rolls, yeah.
and two on the other, and we came to the middle. Yeah. And Eddie just to grab it and put it in a headlock.
I got this alpaca in this headlock. It was huge. It was so strong.
Yeah.
It was losing its shit. It was struggling away. And I'm like, Nick, get in here. And I managed to hold it still. And Nick came in and he kissed it. And then we were like, no.
Get in there.
We want tongue. We want tongue.
No, there was
And he
no
went
tongue.
back in
I did go back in,
and
but no
kissed
time.
the alpaca again.
You had to make it better. You had to make it
He did a full contact
he did.
on the lip.
The
He paid
great
up
thing
his debt.
is the way Eddie was holding the thing; it could not open his mouth, and you guys didn't see that.
No, I
So
saw
when
that. I was thinking he was
When
going
I
to let
saw
it go.
that, I was like, "Sweet!" I just got in there quick and got out because
Well,
those
they-
things spit.
Yeah, they
and
told
you guys
us.
were laughing. You didn't think I knew that, and I called Callie.
Well,
Going, hey, we're doing this. And she's like, "Those things spit. Be very careful."
Oh, she did tell you that.
Yeah.
So the owner of the ranch came over and said he will spit so much. I think we were all really excited, and then the way that the
That's the
headlock
whole
was.
reason that
As soon
happened.
as I saw
because he told us that.
yeah, his forearm was covering that thing's mouth to a certain degree. I was like, "Yeah, I'm going."
Yeah.
That was good. That was a great day.
What was that
funny.
thought like? Yeah, I'm going in to kiss an alpaca. I'm going for it.
You just got to commit, man.
There was no way we were going to let him get away with it.
No,
because of
no.
all the misery and like he'd caused us on some episodes by So we had to pay back somehow.
You always smelled like DMSO.
Oh,
my God.
How about
It's
Scotland?
making us sick.
Do you remember in the
so bad,
in the
bro.
kilt shop?
Was that the kilt shop
Yes.
where we all
When we had to
started
go get
gagging?
fitted for kilts.
Oh,
bro,
man.
You were bathing in that, Nick.
You did. You were putting so much on, and
Yes.
you would sit there applying it in the middle of the day.
It just smelled like
I couldn't
feet.
put it. I couldn't put it
No,
there.
was-
You're the
was-
one that stuck it on my back.
You smelled like rotten feet constantly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Like,
worse
we
than
just
feet,
couldn't-
like rotten feet.
So bad.
I appreciate this.
We had to take the DMSO away from you, didn't we?
Yeah.
No,
We didn't take it away.
no, you just guys
It was
just
just a
freaking
re-
yelled at me
it was
constantly.
a-
I think,
requirement.
I think finally everyone lost their shit.
Yeah. It was a requirement to not.
I
put
think
it
even
in.
the cameramen were like, at one
Come on,
point, it's
Nick.
like,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hell, man, that smell. Like,
Yeah.
So rough.
So we rode around in a typically in a SUV or van together, right? So we had to all pack in there which was pretty ridiculous.
Hey,
if you think about it.
If you're complaining about the way I smell with the DMSO,
Well,
let's talk about Eddie, freaking hotboxing us 20, 30 times in a day. Sometimes.
Yeah, especially the way you used to eat back then.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I mean,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
eyes, nostrils, everything burning.
Well, you had
And
this
I'm just sitting there laughing.
A lot of times,
You almost got in a fight with them.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
It was bad. Like
But what you would do, the problem was what you would do is you'd set it all up. Right? So it wasn't just like, oh, sorry guys, that happened, and then everybody airs out and it's done. It was premeditated.
Yeah.
This is
I would set them up.
premeditated
So we'd all
fun.
pile in the van, and then the second we'd pull off, I'd drop my arse. So no
you
one could get
also
out the
you
doors.
also
and
you
lock the
also
windows.
had the driver lock the windows.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, I was usually the one driving, and I'd lock the windows.
You were
and-
never driving. You were in the
I
passenger.
drove a lot in England and
In
Scotland.
England and Scotland,
a couple times. Yeah. But anyway, you had it rigged up either way.
Did
Whether you were
did I
driving.
tell you the story of the Burj Khalifa? Were you there when I farted in the Burj Khalifa?
I was
lift?
in the elevator for that.
You were
Okay.
in, right.
Yes.
So the Burj Khalifa, it takes 3 minutes to get to the top of the Burj Khalifa in an elevator.
because it's so tall.
Yeah, and this lift was full of people. And the second those doors closed, and there were 15 people in there, most of them strangers, absolutely gagging.
It was so thick.
the whole way up.
So bad. 3 minutes of Eddie's
He's
fart.
so proud of it.
Oh, he loves it.
so bad.
He loves it.
Like you could see it in the air. It had a thickness to it.
It's
you
like
know
a
what I
green
mean?
phone.
And when we got-
it's like you're chewing it.
Yeah.
And when we
yeah.
got to the top and the doors open, it was like The Walking Dead, just fucking
For the rest of the day, all 15 of us smelled like his farts.
Oh my god.
Couldn't get that off.
And you probably saved that up too.
Oh man, I was
You knew what
I
was
was all
coming.
the way. I knew it. I was just building it up, and Terry was with Terry Hollins was in
Yeah,
the lift
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And Terry said to me like, "Don't fart in the lift," and I was like, "Okay." And as soon as he said that, I was like, I'm building it up, and then
It's on.
this second, and I mean literally, the doors just went boom, and then it went.
It was so bad. So bad.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yep. You're so proud of yourself.
It was honestly,
Yeah.
it was good. And then I learned afterwards that somebody, do you remember this? Like somebody got 6 months in prison for farting in a lift in front of a royal princess or something.
Oh, really? Good move.
Yeah. So they told me that after, like, you're lucky someone wasn't in there that shouldn't have been in there, like, so.
Well, can you get into Canada?
No, I can't. that was another
That's
episode,
from the
wasn't it?
pilot. Yeah,
that
That
yeah.
was the pilot. Yeah.
So it was like a local YMCA.
You
or
got
whatever.
what were you guys doing? You were training in
Well, we were doing legs. They
did leg press.
They had a small little gym, and it had a crappy leg press that, like, even all the way loaded up was barely any weight. And we were just doing, making a video, and we were piling on, and ended up being all of us on top of it while someone was hitting it. And then the last set, Eddie just pulls his pants down, and someone got a great photo of it. Yeah. And I posted it, and it's Eddie's ass like coming down by my face, like
On
in
the leg press.
Why? I mean, why would you not?
Yeah, but everything was
because-
down by his knees, though. So everything was out there dangling.
Oh, my bollocks were hanging down. My fucking arse was like that far off his face.
And they, because they had the evidence of the photo,
Yeah. So-
they knew that he
Who
had.
took the picture?
Well, I posted it on my Instagram.
That and some random guy in the gym
Oh,
took
man.
a picture as well. And
was
that
fine.
day we flew out.
I didn't think they were going to worry about it. I didn't think it was going to come back to haunt
You two
or
left,
anything.
and we were still there.
So we flew out, and I think it was later that day somebody messaged us. It was like someone on Instagram.
It was the next morning.
Did they
They
message you?
came. Yeah, they came
can't
looking
remember.
for you the next morning.
Yeah, and the police apparently turned up at the gym to collect the footage and then go to the hotel to arrest me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently in Canada, like exposing yourself like that is big trouble. Like it's prison time, apparently. And there's a warrant out for my arrest, so I'm never going back to Canada ever again in my life. Imagine landing with my family, my wife and kids, and then getting put in cuffs because I let my bollocks dangle down on a leg press.
It was a great Instagram post, though.
It was brilliant.
Did it do well?
Really good.
It did good.
Good business.
Good. Good
I
for
still,
you.
like, every once in a while throw it up for a throwback, It's great.
Throwback. Throwback Thursday.
Literally throwback.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
You keep that for the wank bank as well?
Yeah, indeed.
Good lad.
It's etched in my memory forever. His brown eye 3 inches from my face.
Sweet.
That was before all the new wiping and stuff. That was before dude wipes. This was back in the toilet paper days, you know? This was back in the dry days.
See all the dingleberries.
Yeah. This is before we figured it out.
Doesn't he still prefer that? Like
I don't know if he did. I wouldn't have.
God, no, there's so many things. Like another scene that I obviously didn't make the TV. Remember when we went and had food with that family?
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
And I laid into this guy.
That was so uncomfortable. It was so hilarious.
I don't know if I remember this.
In Minnesota.
We were doing something else. So
it was
these
just
two.
me and Ed.
It was these two.
It was
but
just
you
me
guys
and
came
you.
back
Okay,
to
that's
tell
why I
us
don't
the story.
remember.
Wow.
He was so horrible.
I
these
went
people.
too far.
Way too far.
went too far.
Hilariously too far.
What was the point of it?
Oh, he was.
They were showing us like how to live, like I don't know, Amish or whatever.
Like Vikings.
It was like I don't know how to call
Vikings.
it. That they had this special way of living. Like they ate this certain food, they churned it a certain way. He was an ironsmith. He lived off the land, and they invited me and Obi round for a meal.
Okay.
To eat this special dish. And he just met us. If you remember, we just met him at a petrol station.
Right.
And it was just literally added into the episode. We met this guy at the petrol. Why don't you come round to my house and we'll
So it wasn't
I'll cook you a meal.
Wasn't pre-planned.
No,
Really?
So we turn up at this guy's house and we're having this meal. And this, let's be honest, I hope this guy doesn't see this, but it was fucking disgusting.
It was horrible.
It was vile.
Horrible.
And his daughter was there, and his wife was there, and his son
They
was
all
there.
looked like they were chained to the basement before we got there.
Guys probably got
Like they literally
that's
had to unchain them for the cameras. That's where we got.
I'm so glad I wasn't
and
there.
that's being kind.
It's crazy.
That's being kind.
I am being nice.
So, and this guy that asked us, so we're sitting there, and then Obi sort of mentions, like, hey, it's a bit strange this guy just met us at a petrol station and sort of invited us back. And I was like, yeah. I was like, look at his eyes. He looks like a right.
And says this out loud in front of the mother, the daughter, the boyfriend, and the father.
It just
You're
came
right,
out.
because I said
just came out. I don't know why I said it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it.
Literally just as loud as we're talking here. I'm like, it's
And
weird
the whole-
that we just met you.
the
And he
whole-
goes, yeah, you look like a... And you
Wow.
should have seen their families' faces.
But he did.
I know he did. He did. He looked like he
just
had
looked like
them
a
chained to the
crazy
wall.
person. He had these crazy blue purple eyes that
Yeah.
just stared into your soul.
He was crazy.
I'm so
But
glad
then
I
he went
wasn't
further. He didn't just say that once. He continued further. Like we would be talking, and then he'd be like, "No, guys, don't you think your father looks like a murderer?" Father, he asked the son. He asked the son, "Doesn't your father look like a murderer?"
We're going to have to do a lot of cutting out
asked
here because this is quite... Well, you have to bleep that, by the way.
Bleep what?
The whatever.
Okay.
Bleep it. Yeah, bleep it again. Stop saying...
He was like, "Your father, doesn't he look like a murderer? Doesn't he look like that?"
And
Like,
then we went even further. Me and you, mate, you were fucking hilarious. Because the daughter, like, well, as you say, it looked like they'd been fucking chained up.
that's what I'm saying.
And
Sloth from the Goonies had 4 kids.
Oh man, I hope these guys don't see this. And you made a passive comment of like the daughter being gorgeous, and I literally spat my food out when he said, I spat my food out over the mother and the father. It was so bad.
I waited till I saw him take a big old bite, and then
And me and Obi had to like shake hands and thank these guys, and we left. And the TV producers after were like, "Guys, we can't fucking use that. You fucked it. Like, we
Too
just,
much. It was too much.
Me and Obi just constantly ripped the shit out of this family. It was fucking.
They literally picked the wrong two to go
Oh,
there.
yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh fucking hell, man!
But they definitely
But I
have,
did appreciate
they
the
have a
accent
well in the bottom of their basement right now with somebody in a bottle of lotion.
Bro, it sounds really sketchy.
The lotion on the skin.
That's these people way out in the middle of nowhere.
But that food was disgusting. Like we sat there and we were like, every mouthful was like, You're so lucky to have a wife that cooks like this.
It was like
It was vile.
lentil beans or
But there we
something
go.
like that.
There we go. If you're watching this, we are so sorry. But yeah,
So sorry
yeah,
that
you need to go to fucking McDonald's.
unweb your feet.
Jesus.
Holy cow! I don't know why that didn't make the episode. I don't know.
I was flabbergasted.
It's shocking they couldn't put that on TV. Shocking.
Yeah.
Literally shocking. Yeah.
Are we playing footsies?
What else? What else didn't make the? Because these are the best bits. These are what.
So my favorite, my personal favorite that did not make it was Oberst and I going for a personal bagpipe lesson.
Right.
Right. And
In a castle in Scotland.
in a castle, and we're together, and this woman teaching us she was so nice. She was so nice, but
And
she
you
was
two
also
just fucked
so
about.
serious.
I know the story already.
No, what I did
You
is
two just
we were
fucked about.
very serious.
we were very serious.
on.
But it turned into a contest, right? So I think
It
I don't,
actually did,
So you
yeah.
had to keep like the bagpipe. You got to keep it inflated, but you can't blow it too much because then it makes a weird noise, right? Right?
Yeah, there's a lot to it. Yeah.
It's hard, right? So typically you don't even get to mess around with, like, what's the end? You only get to use the end pipe. You
Like
don't
a
even,
flute?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can't even get to the bag until you. What did she say? Like a year plus?
Yeah, something like that.
So you,
Right, okay.
like they don't let you typically do this. This was not. It was special for us.
Yeah.
So we get in there, and I'm like being so serious about this, right? And I'm just like I would blow it and then blow it up too much on purpose, and then I would try to high five the teacher. Like, wasn't that awesome? That was so good, great. And then I would just like go and
Literally that energy too.
And-
She's
and it
this
just-
old lady in a plaid skirt.
She's looking at me, and then Oberst, and then it was like a competition back and forth.
Yeah,
of who can blow it up and who can do this and who can do
And
that.
then we would ask her, "Who's better? Who's
Literally,
the best?"
you have to judge us right.
Is his
God, and
squeeze
she
as
was
good as
trying
my
to be
squeeze?
so
Professional. Yeah.
Like, you guys are both very good, and I can't do that. Then it's just-
Oh my god!
I'm there. I can't explain it to give it justice at all. But literally, the entire production crew, at certain points, was on the floor laughing. It was literally that good.
And that didn't make the TV.
They were on the floor, literally crying. Like, it was so funny.
There was
We
so
were
much good
super
stuff.
into it.
The
Like, we
butcher
were whole
shop
committed.
that we went to.
The what?
The butcher shop that we went to. When
That
they were
was
making
crap. That was shit.
Yeah, but it was gross.
No, it was shit. And then
we went and ate
when
the
we went
haggis.
and had dinner with my family.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was
And my mom dropped this fucking bomb.
Yes, this was
My mom
so
dropped this-
excellent.
I don't even know if we
This
want to
was
say.
my
do we wanna
favorite
say
part of the
this?
show right here.
Fuck.
The best
Told you
part of
that.
the show.
Do you even want us to say this on here?
Oh, I'm saying it.
Let me fucking tell the story because it fucking riles me up to this day.
But at least tell it in a happy tone. Like, this was a good day.
Yeah.
So
For us.
So we all go around to my house and we're having dinner with my family. We're having a lovely barbecue. It was
dinner.
gorgeous. We had a lovely conversation.
good.
But they're
Very-
supposed to roast us though.
Yeah,
It was a very
And
nice
then-
day to
And then
this
someone
day.
must have asked the question like,
Tell us about it.
Tell us about
Eddie. Yeah. How, the
and like
story
how
of
was he?
Eddie.
You know, how I think it was you took the
Yeah.
piss. Like, where was he conceived?
So-
And I don't know. My mum said some sarcastic remark, and then she goes on to fucking tell me how I was conceived.
the
Yes.
true story.
Yes.
So this is the true story of how I was conceived. So my mum had already had two boys, and was apparently very happy with that. Okay, so she's on the pill, and she doesn't want any. They don't want any more kids.
Right.
Okay. So they're going about the life, and then my mum stubs her fucking toe and gets a toe infection. You remember the story. Right?
Oh yeah. I
Gets
remember
a-
it.
I'm going to get a tattoo of it, really.
Gets a toe infection. So she goes to the doctors to get some tablets for, you know, like a antibacterial, like antibiotic.
Antibiotics.
Yeah. To get rid of the toe infection, right? But what they didn't tell her is these antibiotics don't mix with the contraception.
Right.
okay?
So when you take them,
Yeah. So while she was on the antibiotics, the contraceptive pill didn't work. And what happened?
Eddie came.
I was fucking conceived. So I was literally, how did she word it? I was the result of a fucking stub toe.
Yeah, a toe infection.
a toe infection mistake.
The world's
That's it,
strongest
I mean,
accident.
yeah. That's great.
And And genuinely, that was the first time I fucking heard that.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
In front of this whole
And
thing.
she said that
That
in
we
front
all
of
got
you.
to learn that together as a group.
That was
I thought to
Like, that
myself-
was amazing.
That was really
I
special.
thought to myself, that wasn't just in front of like you three guys. That was to the whole
the
fucking
whole world. Yeah.
Well, they know now because they never made the episode.
I feel like we
That didn't make the episode.
no.
the footage was bad.
They told us.
yeah.
they
so
told us
now
that-
you've just told the whole
There was a
world.
line right through the middle of the
I'm
thing.
so glad we told this story.
I know. Nobody ever saw
I feel,
that.
I
This is
feel
my
like
Christmas
it was,
right
it was
here,
a
you know?
bonding moment.
He just
It was
so-
it was the
It was
best
a-
bonding
it was a
moment for
bonding
all
moment.
of us.
It was.
I felt bad for like just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, because you could see like
That's the
Eddie's
only reason.
face-
Yeah, he was pretty-
If you
yeah.
could see your face when this is being
It's
told,
so good.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of looking, and I'm expecting you to be like, "Yes,
good.
Mom, why are you saying that?
Yeah,
I already
couldn't
know that."
believe it.
And he's like
Please,
looking at
sir,
her like,
can I have another?
"What are
Like,
you,
he has this
Mom?
sad-
Stop! Don't say this, Mom. Why? What are we?"
She said it so placidly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was fucking normal.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is how
Well,
we
the
can
the
see.
best part was you turned to your brother, looked at me like, "Did you know this?" He goes, "Yeah, everybody knows it." Yeah,
Yeah.
just not Eddie.
Oh, that was good.
Yep. That was
It's like, aw.
Good times. Good times.
And now you just told the world because nobody ever saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad they know now. That's
Yeah. I'm happy it's out.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got a weight lifted off my
Ed,
shoulder.
when's your birthday? When's your birthday?
feels good. Feels good. Again.
When's your birthday?
Fucking, I don't know, is there a National Toe Infection Day or something?
No, I'm just curious.
15th of January, right.
No, I was just
Okay. Were you going to say?
So that happened in March.
yeah.
Everybody's gonna.
Are you going to put a post up about how I was conceived on my fucking birthday on you and tag me in it?
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
Just find a toe that's infected and Photoshop it in there.
Perfect.
Fucking great.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's
so,
also a good like thing for women to learn, right? Like if you don't want to have a hideous
I
mistake,
like how you try to make something out of this.
this is educational.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
yeah.
So just don't do that. Don't.
Yeah.
stub
Was
your
there anything else that didn't make the camera? Like,
Yeah.
You and me, you were taking a shower, and I came in and took a shit, and then we were both in our beds, like naked, rolling around saying.
Did they
weird
roll
stuff.
with? Did they roll with that storyline?
no, I don't think I believe
I
so.
think
No,
they
not
cut
at
the-
all. We're- like,
so
we're in the hotel
every
thing.
yeah, every episode there was kind of like an A story, B story.
Right.
So every one of us was kind of in control of 2 episodes. I unfortunately got 1 because of you. And the one that I was looking
bicep.
forward to.
Eddie
we were
was-
supposed to do Louis here.
And
what
Eddie
I
was
looking for.
wrestling.
Yeah, and tore his bicep and ruined it all for me on my second
Right,
episode.
ruined basically our chances of season 2. Like, we weren't going to say that, but the
That
reason
was just
season
kidding.
2 didn't happen is because Eddie decided to
No, but
wrestle
anyway,
little people. and
Stay
tear
on
his
the
bicep.
stay on the topic. Yeah, yeah. So AB story. You guys and Cody, right? We checked into the hotel and it was like they
They
played,
only have 2 rooms.
they only have no 3 rooms.
Oh, there you go.
So we had our own room and you guys had a share room.
Right.
And then some of the stuff that you showed me of what you did together was disturbing.
It was hilarious.
It was
and
just-
It was funny. It was wrong, but it was funny.
raunchy funny.
Yeah, I was having a lovely shower,
Yeah.
and then the door just kicks open. Obi comes in, squats down, and takes a shit. Literally half a meter from me, and I can hear the fucking the shit dropping into the water. He's fucking making these nice groaning sounds, and then the fucking 2 cameramen come in and fucking filming Obi.
You thought he was just coming in for fun.
No, he just fucking did it, and then 2 cameramen came in behind me and filming me.
So you weren't really bothered until the camera showed up.
And then what else? Like I was just lying on my
He
fucking
liked it
bed.
at first.
Yeah,
He
of
liked
course,
it.
of course I did. I jacked off right there.
Awesome, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, and then I was just in my room. Or is it the other way around? You were lying on your bed, nice and relaxed, and I thought, fuck this guy. I walked in buck fucking naked. And just walked about.
Right. Yep.
And the cameras were there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you went and laid down on your bed and spread eagle.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
Dick out the lot.
Yeah, really
And
glad
we were
I
like
wasn't there even for
watching
that.
something or talking about something while you were like kicking your legs around all naked too.
I don't know.
There was a lot of nudity in that.
There was. Unnecessarily, but
Well, you answered. I think there was this scene where you answered the door in the underwear.
Oh, right. Where
Yeah.
you came.
Yeah.
I did that myself too. I didn't even tell anybody.
Yeah.
So you
That was quite the surprise.
And it was super quick too. Like we were in the hallway at a hotel and they're like, all right, Nick, walk down, like count to 10 and come back. and they didn't have anybody tell me to do it or anything. As
So
soon as
just
he
by
walked-
the time he got back,
Yeah, as soon as he walked away, I took my pants off and I hiked my shorts, my boxers up
Amazing.
all the way to my ass to where it looked like I was wearing a thong, and took my shirt off too. And so I answered the door, didn't even say anything. I just acted normal.
Yeah.
There's just shit you can't unsee.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's burned into your memory.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, that's how you get a yeast
And then
infection.
this one, after I was just getting warmed up after the torturous jacuzzi stunt with the ice, comes back in, and they cut this from the episode with a bucket of ice water, dumps it right back on me just as I started warming up, and bolts out the door.
It was just for a contrast. He was trying to help you.
Yeah,
Trying to help you recover.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Everybody agreed it would be good for you.
Well, I'm glad everybody else agreed.
Well, we were trying to help. Now, honestly, though, after that experience, do you or do you not like cold tubs?
I do like cold tubs.
Do they make you feel better?
They make me feel
You
a lot
like
better.
cold tubs now?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
really.
thanks.
Eddie did you a favor. We did a favor. The ice cubes, the whole nine.
Well, that part
There's a lot of work, Nick. to get
Actually,
that
me
done.
liking ice tubs more had to do with coming and hanging out with you a couple times and going into the ice
Than him.
than Eddie's. I was still suffering from PTSD from that. So,
Okay. Well, that's maybe it was too much.
and then someone had a bucket full of giant ice cubes.
Not me.
It was dumping those on my head.
Who was that? Who would have been that?
That would be you.
No,
Yeah,
bro.
that was you.
It
I
wasn't
was
me.
splashing the
Ting
water.
ting. I'm like, ow.
No.
It wasn't me. I was filming.
You guys were just
Things-
really
look, bro,
overly
it's-
enjoyed
at
that
certain
episode.
moments, things got out of control. That's all
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
Nick. So, I mean,
In 2 minutes, somehow it turned into 4.5.
well, the timer didn't work.
Yeah, that's not on us. That's a
It was
technological issue.
It was literally.
it's a cell phone timer. How does that mess up?
It was. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yep.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that was good. So a lot of people have asked, I'm sure you guys have got the question too, why no season 2, right? Like if you look back on YouTube, any clip the History Channel put out killed it.
Yep.
The ratings, you were with me. We were all being told, man, for a first season of this show, your ratings are killing it. Everything's killing it. People are loving it. We did all the promo stuff. Everything was good. We were planning season 2, literally talking about dates, episodes, et cetera, et cetera. And then it just did not get approved, right? And
Well,
I think
I think the budget and everything was approved. They just had to sign off on it to get it to go, and they just
it
let
was
it go.
it was to the finish line. I mean, I think all of us agree, like it was to the finish line. It was going to be good to go, and then it didn't happen. And I think that's probably been the biggest question with all of this because of the enjoyment from it. You know, there's different ways that the episodes were filmed. That you know, again, and we can sit here and debate for sure. Hey, you could have added this and put the storyline, maybe made it a little bit more fun, because you have to make people laugh, right?
Yeah.
People love the strength, they love the history of strength, but you got to make people laugh. And at the end of the day, that's what made the pilot take off.
Yeah.
Was the funny parts of it. Right?
Correct.
So it's eating challenge, burping, farting, razzing, going back and forth. So like you want somebody to come in every week and want to watch what you're doing, and we did that. Literally together. It was every one of us played our role in that, and that's what made it so special. And the interesting part was the storylines that, like I said, from the episodes, like I think all of us looking back probably, and again, you haven't watched all of them, Ed, so you can't really say maybe, but I think it could have been played out a touch different and made it more fun. But again, it was still killing it the way that it came out.
Yeah.
Right. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, I genuinely want to know, because I haven't really talked to you guys about this too much.
I mean, if you ask me, I had a good feedback again from people in the strongman community.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the feeling was that the funny side was let down.
Okay.
Like the humor, like the stats were there, the history was there, the interest of learning, you know, the culture and the strongman we were on, and the lifts were good. It was the humor. And just having this conversation here now, I think we've just said it ourselves. We filmed so much stuff that was fucking hilarious. Yeah. And it never made the cut. And, you know, we can sit here and question all day why that was. But that I believe is why.
So you think that even though the rating, I'm saying that, like even with what was put out, the numbers were there.
Yes.
Right. So I agree with you. I think that the humor, you have to make people laugh to bring them back.
Yeah. Right? I'm not sure if like that argument, because we argued constantly, like, oh, we can't. We shoot something, and we can't put that in, and we'd argue to the end of the earth.
Yeah.
Like that skit where Nick had to kiss the alpaca. It was fucking hilarious. And we can't use it. We can't use it.
That was
why. Yeah. And I think it was that arguing that seriously killed it. I think it wasn't just us. It was us arguing with the producers arguing with the head of History Channel. And no one saw eye to eye on it.
The interesting part is, and I don't know, at least from some of the conversations I had, I feel like the field producer who was in charge, I'm not going to say names maybe, but I feel like he had the vision, right? Because he also was behind Duck Dynasty, right? And he said to us, I feel like he had the same fight with Duck Dynasty.
Right.
And they didn't see the vision, and they wanted to change the way that it was being done, and he fought with them, and eventually they saw the way, and that he was correct, right?
Correct.
And eventually he got fired, if I remember right? He got fired and then brought back because it worked, and they discovered that it worked. And I think that's the interesting part here.
He got fired from Duck Dynasty.
Yes, Duck Dynasty. And then he's like, look, guys, I know this will work. I have to fight for it, and we have to keep it funny, because I think there was different people, and with the TV show, when you're editing it, when you're going through it, there's a lot of people in the line, right? So the episode goes through, it gets edited, then it has to be approved, and then it's got to go to another approval probably. So certain people are kind of coming in, and everybody at the network wants to have their take on their touch on it.
That's the problem. Everyone, the society's becoming too woke.
Well, they also wanted us to fight with one another.
Politically
If you remember
correct.
that, they
PC
wanted
is
us
the
to
same.
badmouth each other too.
Well, see this, and you bring up an interesting point there, right? Wokeness, politically correct. Politically correct is a thing that is horrible, right? And I've heard that. We've heard that. It's like, oh, you can't say that. You got to be politically correct. When you state facts and when you say correct things, that is not being politically correct. You don't need to go along with that, and that's the problem, right? That's such a huge problem in society.
Oh man.
And honestly, it's terrible, and it's what potentially maybe ruined this. I don't know.
And how can I just couldn't see a future for that with me and Obi on board. I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah, well, they kept cutting everything out, and it was just ended up getting more and more.
Anything me and Obi did was just cut.
Yeah,
and it was the best stuff. It was fucking hilarious. It was a bit on the line,
sure. But they knew that going in. That's why they liked us, because of what we did in the pilot.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys, the thing is we could have fun together, and you kind of push that. But again, if you're trying to relate to the crowd that we needed to relate to, right? It's okay to have some of that stuff in.
Yeah, of course.
Like, because you're going to laugh. You know what? I don't care how old you get. A fart is going to be funny.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like you fart and we're at a table, we're trying to have a meal and you do that. Like we're going to laugh. All of us are going to laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick's 70, he'll still laugh, right?
Oh,
Like
70.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That was maybe a little harsh, but so
Keep it
honestly,
positive,
for the History Channel, for the target demographic with the show, right? You're in the target demographic. I am. Both of you guys are, and in that world, that age, right? You have to have some of that type of humor, and it has to be a little bit on the line, and that's okay, right? And again, Eddie, you're bringing that point up, bro. Like, this kind of woke nonsense and politically correct nonsense, because it is nonsense, and most people that are logical human beings can objectively think about it and say it's nonsense.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Right? It's a joke.
It's a joke.
And most people, here's the thing, when I'm growing up, and I think we can all agree, is some of the things are being said now, that's ridiculous. It literally is absurd. And most of us growing up would agree with that.
I think that's the problem, is me and Obi haven't grown up.
Okay, but you haven't grown up, but you still think it's nonsense.
Yeah, of course we do.
Right? Like the humor you're having, bro, it's funny. It's making people laugh. You're entertainers. And when you're on a show, you have to think about the entertainment value. Like I can appreciate that. Like obviously for me, I think all of us would agree. I love the strength side of it probably more, and that storyline and making sure that's correct and making sure the numbers are correct and what was done. Like, you know, if we got into conversations, everyone's asking me, well, Brian, what do you think about this? Do you think we should play it this way? Is that okay? Right.
That was the best thing about it. Is you were the one who cared about that. We were about the entertainment.
But that you have to have both sides of that to make it work.
Well, we had all three sides. I mean, Nick was there when all the records were made.
So but
Nick verified everything.
Yeah, that's correct.
He was our historian that was actually living at the time. But you have to have that dynamic, and that's what made, I think in my eyes, that's what made it so special. Is we had the humor mixed with strength, so you could present it. And at the end of it, the strong men from the past that we were trying to honor, we did actually honor.
Yes,
in a big way.
And they got to live on, and their legend,
because of
whatever
us,
it was, got to grow. And I think to me that was special, bro. Like the look on Paul Anderson's family's face, right? That was special, man, because their dad was a special human being that deserves that. And again, when these people lived and did these things, they didn't have platforms. They had maybe a newspaper that could take a black and white picture, maybe, and put it out. So like we're taking on legends.
With him too, like we had to walk that line about being honest and being respectful.
Of course.
And we got to be like really respectful and honest at the same time. And
but
they
they
really appreciated
they
it
listened,
so much.
and what, like his legacy, Paul Anderson's legacy, he created a boys' home that still runs.
It's still going.
Right? I mean, this dude would travel around, give talks, and changed, how many young men's lives, right?
Thousands.
Through strength demonstrations, through his power, what he was able to do. Not only an Olympic gold medalist and the things that he had to go through, I appreciated, obviously, from training, right? Because he couldn't just go down the street to a gym.
I'm going to tell you what, it was really fun watching you just admire all the equipment and looking at the dumbbells and just totally just going gaga over those, which I
love it.
I did too. And then the plates that were underneath was just amazing. The deep dish 45.
I would love to have that, like to tell his story. I love that stuff, right? Like that to me was like literally incredible, right? It's insane. But this is like mixing the humor, because we're laughing, right? We're laughing about this and we're having an awesome time. And I love talking to you guys, and just us being together, reliving some of these things is fun. But at the same time, like
driving his Cadillac.
Man, they still had that. You guys took pictures with it, right? The Cadillac and all that.
Pink
like
Cadillac.
I mean, it's crazy, but it's like this is a man that, of one of many, like Peter Francisco. I mean, these are guys that did inhuman things under the fact that they might die.
Yeah.
I mean, for him, literally
especially him,
a cannon off a battlefield. Like, living those moments. And I know you guys felt it, because I got to, like, you're in the moment, you're thinking about, holy cow, like, we're just in a show trying to do this. This dude is potentially going to die, and he's doing this. Things like that to me were like next level special, and reliving that and showing it to the world. It's awesome, because there's so many of those individuals that we didn't get to show, and was disappointing for me, because other people got to experience it, right? And that was probably the most special part to me, right? Like, yes, spending time with you guys, we got to bond and lifelong memories that we're never going to forget, which was awesome. But on top of that, through all of the, whatever you want to call it, chaos of filming that show, it was like once the shows went out, these people got to be put to light for the world. Right. And I think that was cool. And that was one of the biggest things for me that was disappointing when it didn't go. Obviously, I think all of us wanted it to be as successful as it could be, and we tried. And when you pour your heart, effort, and soul, really, right? Like you're putting it into it, because we would get done with an episode, bro, and I was empty.
Yeah, we were fried.
I know you guys were empty, because you're trying to make it funny, but you're trying to also make it serious, and you're trying to perform these lifts that are sometimes, man, we're finishing at what time at night, right? And it's like, hey guys, go put this bar on your back, or go do this. And it's like, we're being serious about it. And yes, there's hell of a lot of fun for sure. But also there's points where it's like, we got to strap it on, and we got to honor this individual by lifting this weight and trying to replicate this feat of strength the best that we possibly can, So, I mean, I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but it's disappointing that it didn't. I'm disappointed. People bring it up, and they still bring it up to me and say they loved it. Like, why can't it come back? Why don't you bring it back? So, maybe us being together, this is going to kindle some of that, and maybe we do something about it. I don't really know, but
you guys want to do that? I'm in.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's a conversation. Right? Like, and I don't know where that conversation goes, but I think I think we've touched on a lot of the points of, unless you guys have more to think why did it not get approved, or what happened with it, or what were your thoughts? You got anything, Oberst? I feel like you think or thought about. Obviously, you guys have all thought.
Well, we've also
about
talked a lot about it, and we've all dealt with this for forever now. I think that's pretty much it. I don't even know if I want to touch any of that.
Yeah. And that's fair too, bro. You don't.
No, but I'm just saying, it's like you guys explained it fully too. That's pretty much it. I think it definitely had good enough numbers. It was people liked it enough, and we were all willing to commit to it again. So I think just sometimes it doesn't work. That's Hollywood, man. That's all they talk about when you work in that industry. It's like so many chefs in the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of chefs.
Yeah,
but you got to plate the food at some point,
Yes.
Yeah, true. And put it out. Well, it's been awesome, guys. I appreciate you taking the time.
You don't have any of those questions?
Yeah,
I think we're either going to touch on those in a different. They're a lot more like, for this format. I wanted to keep it a lot about the show.
Okay.
So we're gonna maybe touch on like more of a Q&A. Type of thing, because they're very direct questions. I wanted to see if people had more questions about the strongest man in history, or like a certain episode or something. So it was more like, hey, Nick, what are you going to do now, or your career, like stuff like that. So if anybody listens to this podcast, we're going to put out some more content. We're all hanging out together. We're going to have a lot of great stuff, coming out. So check all the social media, of course, with all of the guys, and make sure that if you're not following, all of us will shout out our Instagram real quick. Oberst, you want to go? Social media, where can people follow you, find you?
John Malkovich.
You obviously don't remember your own social media.
It's my name.
Robert Oberst.
Robert
Oberst. Nick Best
Strongman.
Nick Best Strongman. Eddie Hall, the Beast.
Eddie Hall, WSM.
And I'm Shaw. Everything's for me is Shaw String. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning into the episode. And if you enjoyed this, if you got something out of it, please share the podcast with people. Just any type of share, like, comment, tell somebody that you're friends with to check it out. Any of that stuff really helps to make it grow, and hopefully bring some more awesome content your way. Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, you had a thought there. I was going to wrap it up.
No, it's okay. We're good.
Okay, yeah, that's jumping in the middle of my thing, Nick. Okay.
Well, you did a 14-minute intro and a 35-minute outro.
All right, guys.
It's like,
that's it.
Tell us
That's
about
it.
your world record, Brian.
If you want to know about our world record,
I
go
knew
watch
he would.
the videos.
He can't let it go.
Just go watch.
All you got to say is world record. I knew it.
You brought it up. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for coming on here with me. It's been fun. Been a lot of fun.
I hate all of you.
Okay. Go out and be great. We'll check you guys later.